Welcome, everybody, to the Get Geeked Game of Thrones weekly show review. I kind of said all that backwards, but you know what I mean. Let's just say we had just spent a long time trying to figure some digital stuff out, how to record this and kind of keep everything. I don't know, just better recording for us for an easier edit. But I am excited. Well, yeah, sort of excited, I guess. After seeing yesterday's
the episode or the recording?
Both, I guess you would say both, because last night's episode kind of went back to form. You know, I mean, we had a big battle before, and then not much like story to go off of, and it was kind of a divisive episode with like half of everyone loving it, half of everyone being like, kind of had problems with it, but this episode I felt like it was more of a Game of Thrones episode, but with a lot of weird things. A lot of weird things going on. Some I like, some I didn't. I don't know, but I mean, we could go through it all and we'll figure it out.
Did you even see that thing that was going around?
Oh, the coffee cup?
Yeah.
Is that what you're? Yeah, you could get a latte from Starbucks at Winterfell. I mean, come on, HBO. 8 seasons of recording, of editing. How do you forget a Starbucks coffee cup in a big scene in an episode like that? I don't know, man. It's so weird.
It's just, I mean, even so, the people screening it should have at least...
Right? The editors.
No.
It's really up to the editors, right? Because they review every shot. You're telling me a bunch of editors just missed a coffee cup, a Starbucks coffee cup. I mean,
Exactly.
It's the same color as the table almost, but that green logo is screaming out at you.
Oh, yeah. Dude, like,
Oh, wait.
placement, but that's...
say it again, dude. Your mic dropped out a little bit.
Oh, well, that's... I know they don't do product placement, but that's a huge hit.
Oh.
And even so, like, I've been on a couple sets. They will let you have stuff just as long as you push it off to the side, or when they know it's not being in the scene. So maybe it was just a dropping issue. But even so, dude, 8 seasons and you let that slide.
Really, dude, for reals though. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but with Starbucks out of the way, kind of makes me crave a little bit of Starbucks. But I guess product placement works.
Dude, I mean, I really need it for sure. I can't stop yawning, which I'm gonna try not to.
See, that's why I roll with the Monster. Not a sponsor, but please sponsor me. But yeah, dude.
You know, our first sponsor is gonna be like that audiobook place.
I would love that too.
They sponsor everybody.
But yeah, let's get into this episode though. It starts off with what you think would happen after a big battle. They have everyone kind of in their burning area, to get rid of all the dead, and they're burning them just to play it safe, because you don't want them coming back, so they're not gonna bury them. So we gotta burn them.
And even so, there are so many, so it's like a decent send off for all of them.
Yeah,
you're not gonna bury all of them.
It was a somber scene. I liked it. It kind of seemed like everyone's kind of like back together, like mourning together and stuff like that. So it worked perfectly. And then you go to the celebration. And when you go to the celebration, this is where all the weird stuff happened for me. I don't know if I can... Like, I mean, some of it was cool, like Gendry getting
lordship.
Yeah, getting lordship.
No, he's king now.
Well, no, not king. It's lordship. I think it is lordship. Yeah. Of his land through Dany. That was cool. I was okay with that.
It was a little awkward.
A tad bit awkward, because
she kept saying the whole Baratheon thing, and I was like, you guys haven't said much about the other Baratheon thing going on.
But it's a power play though, because you know she was doing it just to throw her power around. Like,
Hmm.
you know, showing Sansa, like, look, I'm a queen. Like, look, I'm doing queen things right now, you know? Because it pans over to Sansa and she's like giving her the side eye and stuff like that. I don't know how. A little bit weird, but yeah. They need to get over that,
Yeah.
though. I don't know.
Honestly, it's weird because, man, is she's really strong, and honestly, I kind of feel for the Starks. Like, Daenerys is kind of slowly losing her shit altogether.
Well, it shows later on in the episode, but she's kind of trying to hold it together for this party, though. I mean, I kind of seen that she's trying to hold it together for this party, even
Apparently not, since she had to have a good old cup of Joe.
like even when like everyone was around John, be like, and they were telling him like, you know, you'd be the best king, you know, and stuff like that. You know, like she held it together, even though
Hmm.
she had to get up and walk away. But you know, that's what a sane person would do. But
Yeah.
you know, the weird things I want to get to though is Brienne and Jamie hooking up. I don't know if they needed to do this scene. I don't know
Mm-mm.
if they even had to tell this story. They could have just kept it as, you know, they had a thing for each other. It just felt
On
weird that they had to do this whole like hooking up scene. You know?
Dude, honestly, they didn't even have to, but what they could have done is not even done that scene, but still had that connection when he was leaving. Then
Yeah,
that still would have shown that they had that connection.
exactly. Yeah, because not just that too. Then because it just kind of made me like feel bad for Tormund because like Tormund was like kind of like not sobbing. I mean, he got over it pretty quickly though, but you know he was kind of mad that he saw you know Jamie going after Brienne and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But
I totally expected, um, I really expected Tormund to do something that would have
right,
ruined that.
me too, dude. I wanted him. I don't know, something about the writing. I guess the writers didn't want that to happen. They don't. For some reason, the writers didn't want to ship that relationship.
Or even so, made like an argument between the two, saying like, even that weird, awkward, she has to go to the bathroom, but then he steps in front of her, or in front of Tormund, to like, it was just a really awkward situation that I expected a little more to come from, because when you expect something like that to happen,
Hmm.
something's got to go down.
Yeah, I don't know,
But I guess
man.
not.
It was weird. Other than that, so yeah, they're all partying. I can't even say it right.
Partnering.
Partying, um, and they're all getting drunk. Everyone's just celebrating and stuff. And there was a weird exchange. And tell me what you think about this scene where Danny comes into John's room and is like, "Are you drunk?" And he's like, "No." But then he's like, "Oh, a little bit." And they have an embrace. But the embrace turned into Danny just telling John like, "Don't tell anybody." And John was like, "What do you want me to do?" And she was like, "I just told you what to do," and just straight up walked out after the embrace. And like, you're the one who
I
came
think that
in,
was
because she's the one who came in and was like ready to embrace, you know. And then like she just switched it off like right in the middle of it. I was like, "Whoa, where did that come from?"
it's strange. I think there's a couple things going on because there's still the whole, their family, but you know, Daenerys seems like she would go to those lengths just to keep the throne, or at least knowing he's not going to say anything, or at least, make it so he's bent to her will.
Mm.
But either way, without him, it was a little weird at first when she even asked, like, "Are you drunk? Like, is that going to change anything?"
Well,
But even,
I think what it is was to see if he's sober enough to take in the words that she's saying. Because even though the scene was weird, what she says rings true though. She was like, you can't tell anybody the secret, because if you tell someone the secret, if you tell even if you tell your sisters the secret, it's gonna go out. It's gonna spread, and it shows you how much John could. It shows you how much John can trust Sansa, because Sansa is the one who spills the beans. You know,
hmm
like and it rings true to what Danny was saying. Danny's saying that you can't tell anyone because if you tell someone, it's going to spread. And what happens when? Because okay, we're just basically jumping, back and forth now. So, but go ahead.
First, oh, I was gonna say, well, first before that, she even also said something that rang true for that too, where she says, she's not the girl you remember when you left
Oh
because
yeah.
she's
Oh,
different.
totally. Yeah. And she has gone through a lot, and she has grown way further than what he remembers. So she is a
Hmm.
totally different person. Um, but yeah, but so he promised Danny that he's not going to tell anybody. Go for a few scenes,
Well, wait,
and
does he
well, I mean,
promise? Because he kind of stayed silent.
he implies it, like he's like, I bend the knee, you're my queen, like, I'm gonna do whatever you say, He never says like I'm not going to, so it kind of implies that he promises her because she asks him, promise me you won't tell anybody, like, so
Hmm.
you have to think like, okay, he's agreeing, but you fast forward a little bit, and there's a scene where Sansa and Arya is just saying like, we don't trust, which is another hard thing to take because, okay, how can you not trust a person who just came in and wasted half of their army to save your land? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
gosh, how much do you have to do to gain their trust? But anyways, he tells Sansa, he tells Arya, Arya is gonna keep the secret because she's been brought up that way. She's been, you know, brought up in the world of no faces and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So she's a ninja. Ninjas are able to keep secrets. Sansa, on the other hand, she's been raised up to play political games. And what do people do when they play political games? They use information as currency. And what is this? This is information. And this is currency for her to get what she wants. And so, with that said, she lets Tyrion know. Tyrion lets
Hmm.
uh, one of the eunuchs know. And now 8 people know. And from what is said, 8 people, it's no longer a rumor or a secret. It is now information because people now know. It's gonna spread, and it's dangerous for John. Oh gosh, this show,
Well,
it hurts me, but it's so good. Like it hurts me in a good way because it draws me back in.
hmm, because if you think about it, with telling them, there was. Are we going to talk about the kind of talk that they had on the boats?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're kind
So
of around that
they're
area.
they're talking about what would happen, like in any case scenario, whether Danny wants the throne, whether John wants the throne, who would be better. And in all seriousness, you know that Tyrion is already trying to say that either way, we can't have it go well because getting them to be married, he does throw that out there. And even I keep forgetting what the eunuch's name is.
Yeah, I
I
forget
keep
too.
forgetting. But he says that it's not really a common thing for a family to get married. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, only 8 people know right now. It will get out later on.
Hmm.
So no matter what, that's not a solution that can
Well, here's
happen.
here here's the thing. It's gonna get out because I feel like the eunuch is gonna make it get out because he in that same scene he's like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep everyone safe because he says he's playing for the verse and not for the queen.
Hmm.
Whereas Tyrion's like, I'm here for the queen. We're doing it for the queen and the greater of the people. But the eunuch's like, I'm doing it for just the people. I'm doing it for the land. And he kind of like insinuates that he might even you know betray the queen. You don't know because that guy has betrayed every other leader that he's been under.
Hmm. And somehow is still alive because I
Yeah.
mean, I guess
So
I guess
I feel like the
the
secret's gonna go
the
out with him. Like he's gonna tell people. You know.
I have a feeling. Okay, so even before that happens, I want to talk about one thing. What do you think it's going to come with Jamie leaving and trying to go back to Cersei?
Oh, he
I honestly,
okay. Here's the thing. I think Jamie's gonna. Oh, Jamie. His whole thing is like no matter what he does, he has to go back and fight for his sister. Because the only reason why he went to the north to fight for the north is because he gave his word, and he's a man of his word. But he never said that he will never come back to Cersei. But here's the
Hmm.
thing, though. I think Cersei has already let him go. Like, Cersei's like, oh, this guy's a betrayer of me right now. I am not letting him back in. So even if Jaime's intentions is to go back and help Cersei, Cersei's not going to welcome him back. So
That's exactly what I was thinking.
that's a
Because
dangerous thing for Jaime. And Jaime might die for that, or he might flip again once he finds out that Cersei doesn't want him back. You know?
true. Because I mean, she already sent somebody out to kill him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when he goes back, I can guarantee that he is not going to be coming into welcome hands. And
Oh, no.
honestly, if anything, she may even just try to kill him there on the spot.
Yeah, either that or maybe try to take him as a prisoner of war and just torture him for a while. Who knows? But that also takes us back. That'll take us backwards a little bit to the whole Cersei trying to have her brothers killed was because Bronn finally has his interaction with Jaime and Tyrion.
Hmm.
Comes in, almost breaks Tyrion's nose. And once again, Bronn does what Bronn does. He makes a double deal.
Hmm.
So Cersei offers him land and gold. So he already has the gold, but now he wants bigger land. And the brothers say, "Oh, actually Tyrion, because Jaime was reluctant to give up the land, but Tyrion's like, I'll give you bigger land." And I forgot the name of the land. I forgot, but I think it's the land that was promised to Jaime. I think that's why Jaime doesn't want to give it to him. But
Hmm.
um, Tyrion offers that up, and so Bronn goes, "Well, I don't know who's gonna win, but one of you guys are gonna die, and one of you guys are gonna win. I'm gonna get whatever I'm gonna get at the end anyway. So I'll take your deal. Just don't die, or die whatever, because I'll get whatever your sister gave me."
Hmm.
But keep your basically keep your promise, and we'll see what happens. And then he disappears, which I also thought was a weird scene too, because I don't know, awkward place to put it, maybe.
Hmm. And even so, like, just the whole interaction, I have a feeling is going to bite Bron in the ass in the end because he's getting a little too cocky. He may
A
be
little
smart,
too
he may
a
be a
little too
good
greedy,
fighter.
yeah.
Yeah, but something's gonna happen. He can't just sit back and start taking, dude.
See, I don't
It's
know.
just
I don't know why he just doesn't take the gold and just make his own land somewhere else. I don't know why he needs the land as well. You have all the gold in the
mhm.
world. Like, go buy some new land. Kind of weird, but
It is what it is. We got two more episodes to wait to see what happens.
yeah. Let me see. So okay, yeah. So we got there. We got Jamie leaving. Also, making Brienne really sad that he's leaving. He basically leaves her sobbing at the on somewhere in the front of Winterfell.
Oh, that was the ugliest cry I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. Let's just say Brienne has the weirdest smile and the ugliest cries. Oh, let's
But
go. Let's go back to. Oh, go ahead. What do you want? What do you
I
want
was
to say?
gonna say, they're kind of going through and making another plan of how they were gonna deal with Cersei.
Which I think is a dumb plan. Or just from when they like recalled, like when they started making the plan, to me something already sounds off, because splitting up the army, right? Like and on paper maybe it sounds good, but when your army is depleted and that small and that tired, splitting them up is maybe not the best idea.
Hmm.
I don't know, but that's just me. But before we get on to the battle, though, two other small things that I want to get into, which is kind of more why I like the episodes, because it shows more of the character that are some of my favorite characters. Is so Gendry becomes a lord, which makes him feel like he's now at the same height as Arya, and he runs and goes and tries to find Arya and confesses his love to her, asks her to marry him, and she denies it because she says to him, "I am not a lady anymore." you know, which I think I believe it. I'm cool with it because yeah, Arya is not a lady anymore. She's an assassin. She can't.
Mhm.
She can no longer settle down, be a lady, watch over land, blah blah blah. She's an assassin. She has to do what she has to do, and that's kill the people on her list. And her list right now is
Mhm.
not complete yet. Most of it is complete, but there is still two people on her list that she has to kill: the Mountain and Cersei.
Mhm.
And she has to go and do that. And she knows that by doing that, she
So
might die.
so bringing that up, there was. I'm not going to talk about the little interaction she has with the Hound as they were
You
leaving
you can because
yet.
that's part of it. Yeah,
I know, but right before I was going to talk about how there was that awkward situation with the Hound and Tormund with two, I guess, prostitutes when they were celebrating. It was just
yeah.
really strange
Well,
how.
Tormund was horny, so he was gonna do whatever he was gonna do. The Hound, though,
Mhm.
when his head is in a certain direction, he doesn't stop. Not even for woman, not even for
Mhm.
pleasure. His head right now is he's saved the North. He's killed he helped kill the White Walkers. The last thing he needs to do, and the one thing he wants to do, is basically kill his brother, which is the Mountain.
Mhm.
It's been on his mind, it's been on his list, and that's the one thing he had need to do, and he's headstrong, and that's what he has in his head. Like
For all we know,
pleasure's not a part of it.
yeah, for all we know, it's going to come into play on who's going to get to the mountain first. You
Yeah.
know.
Or here's what I think's gonna happen is it may be to the point where Arya is going to try to kill Cersei. The Mountain comes, captures Arya, and then the Hound comes in. Right? I think that's
Mhm.
what's gonna happen. But who knows though?
I'm gonna be so pissed.
Wait.
And
Your mic cut out again. Repeat that.
oh damn. So I was just saying that I'm just gonna be a little disappointed if it turns out that Arya is just gonna be the sole survivor of the entire show. Because I mean, it was cool that she won against the Night King, but dude, I mean, you can't fall back on that for a second time.
Well, I mean, that was kind of one of your predictions from the beginning.
Yeah,
Even though the dead didn't win, was like one of your predictions. One of your predictions was that Arya is going to be the only one alive.
yeah. I mean,
It could
but
still happen.
it could, but with that, I would be fine considering that it would also be at the expense of, John, Sansa, almost everybody, and just Brand's dumbass just sitting in the back staring into nowhere.
And he's still sitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, but so let's get to the scene of where Arya's talking to the Hound, or the Hound's riding off, and he hears someone coming from behind him. He looks, and it's Arya, and he's like, "Oh my God, you again?" Whatever, blah blah blah. But they actually have a kind of a good, like a sweet, an almost sweet conversation of like, what are you doing here? Aren't you a hero? And Arya's like, "I'm never a hero. I don't want to be the hero." And
She doesn't she even say she doesn't even like heroes?
yeah, she doesn't like heroes, and the Hound's like, "Well, I might, where I'm going, I might not come back," and she's like, "I'm gonna not come back either." So it's like they have kind of this agreement, like, yes, they're on the same mission, and they don't really say it out loud, but they're like, "Okay, we're cool. We could ride together,"
Mhm.
which I thought
But even so, there
was pretty cool, man. I
there
love
was
that scene.
yeah, there was this even a little connection between them where he said, "Are you gonna leave me again if I get injured?" And she said, "Yeah."
Yeah,
So
and he
I'm
smiles. He
thinking,
smiles about it too.
yeah, 'cause I'm thinking that that is going to be a foreshadowing into them both trying to get to the mountain, and one of them is, she's gonna get to Cersei, but all in all, they know that they're going on a mission that they most likely won't come back from,
Will not come back from. Yep. And for all you,
as long as it's for like the happiness of everybody just being free and killing who they need to kill. It's kind of like a mutual agreement of
yeah.
what's going
So
on.
for all you people out there that want the Clegane Bowl, I think it's coming sooner than later. Let's go back a little bit to John saying goodbye to everybody. I find this weird because I mean, I guess their battle's kind of done, but don't you think like because they have allegiance to John, like they would go to battle with John instead of leaving? You know, like all the
Well,
wild folks are going back up north, and Sam as well. I mean, I can see Sam because Sam's not a fighter, but Tormund leaves. Tormund says goodbye. Not to take away like their embrace of goodbye. I felt like that was a good scene, but I was just like questioning like you've been fighting with this dude and been helping this dude, and now you're just gonna be like up and leave.
all in all, I kind of see it as like Tormund and all of the other wildlings only cared about killing the White Walkers because it had them in danger. And I do understand that there is that kind of like agreement where they would fight for Jon. But I think Jon kind of has like that mutual respect for them, knowing that they already stepped over their line so much just to protect themselves, knowing that it would help. That
Yeah.
fighting for the Citadel is kind of, it has nothing to do with them. They can't, they're not going to start sacrificing themselves for something that they're not going to get anything out of, because they're not going to be anywhere near there. They're just wildlings, and that's all they really cared about it. Because if you saw the episode,
Uh,
they chose. Oh, what's up?
the little bit piece of what you said kind of cut off
Ah, shit.
in
Where
the
at?
beginning. I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah. Just the wildlings. I think they finished where they were doing, and they have already kind of stepped out of their boundaries with helping them already. So I think they kind of got what they needed from them, because having them sacrifice more of the wildlings who just wanted to live free and be safe is kind of selfish. I think that's where John's thinking, because
But
he
I mean, I could see that. But you think like, okay, if you've been fighting along a person and for that long, and you kind of like grow this brotherhoodship, that you think you just keep on fighting alongside of him,
or us
No, you
to
cut out again.
uh, well, even so, he could have just sent everybody else to Castle Black, but had Tormund stayed, that would have been a little more understanding. But
Yeah.
just like just
Well,
Tormund.
here's the thing. I don't think Castle Black exists anymore. I think it's been burnt down by the White Walkers, right? I want to say so. Destroyed. I don't know, but because they're just gonna go north, which is like beyond the wall, because that's where they came from. That's their land. They live in the wild. But I don't know.
And honestly,
I just feel like they turned into brothers, and you think the brothers would stick together instead of leaving each other. But who knows?
yeah. But I mean, honestly, the reason the reason I'm fine with him leaving is I'm crossing my fingers, and I know this isn't gonna work, and it's never gonna happen. But I would love to see. Oh yeah. So if you didn't know, this Ghost with Torment up to the wild, because that's where he belongs, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And it would be hilariously fun. I saw some posts about it, and it's never gonna happen, but it'd be funny to see a Torment and Ghost spin-off.
Oh, actually that would be pretty cool. You never know, because there's up north. There's like a lot of mystical things going on. There's
There's
fairies and elves and stuff like that they don't really get deep into, but it exists up there.
Oh yeah,
And
that's where they got the giants from
yeah,
too.
the giants come from there. So if we do like a Tormund Ghost adventure, I actually would probably watch that if they add
Oh
in
yeah, no,
if
I
they add in
would.
the mythical parts.
Yeah, if it was like opening the world, because these won't even have to do with the books. It'll just be their own creation, and it'll be more of what they are used to, just
Yeah.
normal story
I
writing.
Yep. I just hope they go mythical though with it if they do it though. You know,
Hmm.
like you gotta add in the elves and magics and dragons, or not even dragons, just different type of like monsters, maybe forest monsters. I don't know.
You can't show what the Red Witch did to those swords without being like, okay, I want to see more of that.
Exactly. You know, I don't know, because I mean, with them killing off the Night King, that kills off the magic part of the show.
Hmm.
So like,
But then
you
again,
know,
like we were talking about before, that may not be the last of the Night King.
mm, I want to think that. I don't know if I don't know if this they're I don't know if these guys are smart enough to do that, but
Yeah, it's just there was that whole because the 100th child wasn't given to them, something could go weird. But either way, if that was a show, I would watch it religiously, no problem.
yeah. But with that said, let's go into the main part of this episode.
Hmm.
They're charging towards King's Landing. Everyone's on the boat. Jon Snow and most of the army is on land riding there, but the boats get there first with the dragons. And you had already thought this dragon had died in the Battle of Winterfell, but it's still alive. And what do? They go ahead and just kill him off again. As soon as we find out he's still alive, they just kill him off again. I'm like, why? Why even do that? Why bring him back to tease us to kill him off again? It's these showrunners, man. These showrunners.
Man,
But
you could have just killed them off right there, and that would have saved you a couple $100 in CG.
for reals, but I guess it kind of works because it did pull at my heartstrings a little bit. You know, I'm just like, oh my god, no, they killed another dragon. Why?
Which, which is why I'm thinking Daenerys is slowly going crazy because with the death
Two of her
of the
dragons now.
dragon
Yeah.
and someone else we're not talking about yet, but I have a feeling that it's slowly getting to the point where it's like the last
Oh,
straw to break the
well,
camel's back.
let me just explain the whole thing, and then we can just get into it because I don't want to hold any conversation back.
Hmm.
So one of the dragons gets killed. And then they turn by using what
Scorpions.
yeah, the scorpions, and then they turn the scorpions against the ship. They blow up the entire fleet of Daenerys. Then they capture Missandei, and then
Which is surprisingly that they only captured her.
yeah. Well, I mean, let me we'll get into that once I finish explaining it.
Mm.
So they capture Missandei, and then Tyrion talks Dany instead of going straight to killing everybody to have a talk with Cersei to try to get her to surrender. Cersei does something really smart during the first part of the battle by letting all her people into the courtyard, the Red Keep, so that if she does goes in and murders everyone, everyone sees that Daenerys is a crazy, dragon lady who's just out for blood. And so Dany decides to listen to Tyrion, have their meeting. They have their meeting while Tyrion is begging Cersei to surrender. Cersei has Missandei beheaded, and there goes the death of Missandei, which gives a powerful motive for Grey Worm and gives a powerful motive now for Dany to just go in and murder everybody. And that is the end of the episode. Let's talk.
All right. So I have a feeling that's gonna help out because, in the end, probably find a way to help Arya and the Hound get to the mountain and Cersei because now he has literally nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. I just hope he doesn't do something stupid
Well,
and
here's the
get
thing, like,
killed.
because I was thinking that they were gonna kill off Grey Worm. I didn't.
Yeah.
Missandei came from left field, but it does give great motive for Grey Worm. But yeah, I'm for sure Grey Worm's gonna do something stupid because now he's. See, the thing about love is love makes you do dumb things. So when you see your love get murdered in front of you or beheaded in front of you, you're enraged.
Hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why their army were so great. That's why they were their junk was cut off so that they couldn't fall in love, because the people who did that to them, in their heads think like, oh, love makes you dumb, so let's get rid of whatever makes you love, and in that way you're just straight up army mercenary instead of anything
Hmm.
that could feel. But somehow Grey Worm grew love. With love, he gets his love taken away. Thus, he's gonna do something stupid.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Um, it also puts Danny in a rage.
Hmm.
She was about to not murder everybody, but now you kind of think and you feel she just doesn't care anymore, and she's just gonna go in there and Dracarys everybody.
Yep. And even so, when Masande was giving her last, kind of like her last words,
It was
she even said
Dracarys.
Dracarys.
Which
So
is
I think she's kind of.
Yeah, which is like basically letting the dragons know to throw their flamethrower. Which
Hmm.
which was kind of weird because like when the first dragon was killed and Danny was charging at the ship, I felt like she was gonna scream out Dracarys and just burn all the ships, and I don't know why she didn't do it. It might have been smart in her point of view, because maybe it would have left her open for a spear, a scorpion spear. But I don't know. Like, I really felt like she should have just went and just burnt all the ships. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. When she went in, I don't completely know why she even did that. Like maybe it was to show them that with her flying the dragon, that they're no match for her. But then she should have just done something right then and
Yeah,
there.
she should have Dracarys the whole fleet of ships. I don't know why she didn't.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I mean that's what we gotta look forward to. We have Jamie riding over. We have Jon Snow and the army riding over. We have Danny ready to set flames to the whole, you know, castle. We have Grey Worm raging at the bits to get revenge for his love, and Tyrion trying to hold himself together, and then the eunuch ready to backstab Danny once the war is over. Pretty crazy,
Hmm.
right? I'm down with it. It pulled me back in for sure. Like, cause I'm ready for the next two episodes. And here's the thing, though. Every season of Game of Thrones, the second to last episode, if we follow tradition, the second to last episode is the big battle. And they always use the last episode to show what has happened afterwards. Do you think they're gonna do the big battle next episode?
I think that they may not do a big battle, but if they do, it may just happen next episode. But if they don't, I think somebody is just going to throw a whole wrench into somebody's plan. It's going to happen some way or another. There are so many feelings going around right now that somebody is going to be stupid enough to just throw a wrench. And it's the Game of Thrones theory, it's the Game of Thrones way to go, to
Mm.
have everybody expect something, and then all of a sudden this one person just comes out of left field and goes, "Get rid of it myself," and then just completely messes up everything. But like I've said before, there was somebody talking about how they know that the last two episodes are actually going to be bigger than the battle that we just saw.
Yeah.
So it could be a battle, it could be just a random murder.
Well,
All
okay.
I know is something's going to happen, and they're going to use the last episode either for making things happy
Hmm.
or just making us completely mad and then stopping it right there.
Okay. So, I don't know if I have this information correct, but from what I've heard, the director for the next episode is the director of the Battle of Winterfell and the Battle of the Bastards, and he's the one guy to go to do big battle. So I'm thinking the big battle is
Hmm.
coming in next episode. Now, if they
Okay.
do, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say if they do, then either way, I don't think they don't have enough people. They don't. I mean, just with their anger and just with Daenerys' anger and the Unsullied, I don't think it's enough to do much.
Yeah, but you have to remember, Game of Thrones is good for time traveling. John and the army's
Yeah.
gonna show up. You know, John and the army's gonna show up at no time. Arya and the Hound's gonna be there at no time. Even Jaime's gonna catch up in time, and he left like a night after Jon Snow left. You know, so
Mhm.
they're all gonna be there. The thing is, though, you are correct. There's supposed to be a big twist coming, and the writers have put it out there as information that there's going to be a big twist that no one's going to like it's supposed to surprise everybody. We don't know what it is yet. And it's within the last two episodes. They don't say if it's the next episode or if it's the last episode. But if the big battle comes in next episode, I think the twist is at the end of the episode. And
Mhm.
they'll use the last episode as just a wrap up, say goodbye episode. Right? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they could have been. I'm just, it's been 8 seasons. These are new writers. I think either they're gonna do that or they're gonna leave like just a huge cliffhanger on the second episode and
And
then the last
continue it on the
episode.
last one.
Yeah, they could do that and then all of a sudden, like just pull you saw what happened. So it's up to you guys to kind of assume everything is going to be happy or not, because
I hope
you never
not. I
know.
hate those type of no man. They can't do
I
that.
do too.
They
I do
can't do that
too,
because
but
if they do that, I'm taking away my saying of this is the best show ever. Saying if they do that because I hate when shows do that.
yeah, dude, I do too, but I have a huge feeling that that may be where they're going to go.
Oh, I hope they don't, dude. Oh my god. But here's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. I like your idea of them leaving a cliffhanger on the end of next episode. I think the battle's gonna start. The big battle's gonna start. Danny's gonna be raining down fire. The Sullys, with as little people as they got, are gonna ninja their way into the castle and start murdering people. Jon Snow's gonna show up and it's like, whoa, what happened? I thought we were gonna wait until we got here and stand instead of go in and fight. And he's just gonna enter the battle anyways. Jamie's gonna come and try to join his army, but gets denied, and then cliffhanger.
You
Wait till
know,
the last episode to see what happens, and then they finish it on the last episode, and then they wrap it up. And I hope they
you know
wrap it
what
up.
I think that's a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. I kind of have a strange thought of what's going to happen. You know how when Tyrion was talking to the other hand of Cersei,
Hmm.
man, how he was kind of being a little cocky. I have a feeling that the cliffhanger is going to be at the end of episode 2. Not much is going to happen, or the battle's about to start, or they're like having a face off or something.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, I think the right hand of Cersei, because they have 2 episodes left, they're gonna have to deal with the Mountain, Cersei, Arya, the Hound, Grey Worm, and a whole battle, plus Jaime, everybody trying to fight, and also what Jon is gonna do. So there's a lot to go and happen. What I'm
They
thinking of is,
Go ahead. No, go finish.
I was gonna say, just whatever happens, I don't think it's gonna matter, because if it is gonna go the way I think it is, and they're gonna just leave it up to the ninja, I think all of a sudden, like the right hand of Cersei's, like the ending cliffhanger is gonna be him taking off a mask, and it's gonna be like Arya or some shit.
Mm, but are you saying that's gonna be the cliffhanger towards the last episode?
Yeah, because then on the last episode they could deal with the battle and how her being in there is gonna help the Hound and everybody try to, get what they need to get done.
Okay, I get it. No, okay, that sounds pretty cool. Maybe,
We still gotta see though.
yeah. Like I would like that, but then that's just be way too much time traveling, you know? Considering Arya and the Hound were riding slow, and we didn't even see John leave. I mean, we saw John get on his horse, but we didn't see him leave. So like, I could see them arriving kind of close to each other, but having Arya and the Hound show up before everyone else. Maybe if they ride super fast, I don't know, man.
Like,
The thing
okay,
is though,
so
Game of Thrones traveling is a little weird. They do time
mhm.
travel. People get to certain places really fast, so it could happen. It'd be dope if it did happen. Somehow Arya infiltrates the castle and plays the Game of Faces with Cersei's right hand man. That'd be dope. But I don't know. I
So
don't
just
know.
just imagine like everything is high tension. They've been in this like face off. They're in front of each other for a long time. Cersei doesn't know what they're gonna do. They don't know how they're gonna get in. But then all of a sudden, like the right hand man can't be found for a little bit. All of a sudden he just comes walking in and it's just like, yes, I just had to step out for a moment. Right there.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I could see it. I could see it happening. That'd be pretty badass.
Mhm.
I dig it.
But like we said, we got 2 more episodes.
Yep, 2 more
I just hope
episodes.
they I just hope they answer all the questions,
I
man.
just hope they tie it up in a good knot. I just hope they end it like Endgame.
Mhm.
Like they could leave like openings for different stories, but at least complete the storyline, make us satisfied.
Yeah, they could even leave a couple questions unanswered, just as long as they don't pull a like a Sopranos on us and just
Yeah,
leave us on a blank, you know?
don't leave us on a big question. But with that said, that brings us to the end. And
Yep.
with that said, remember everybody, all of our social media and everything's on down below. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. And with that said, we will see you guys all next week on the second to last episode of Game of
Two last
Thrones.
episodes.
I'm excited. I'm a little worried. We'll all see what happens together. And we'll all come back here
Hmm.
and talk about it. With that said, everybody, we'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.